What's going on, guys? Hey, today I'm gonna go over some samples that I have of all the videos we've been doing to show you guys all these tricks. A lot of times in the middle of a video, I'm explaining some other stuff to you, so I don't really get to show you other examples besides just the doors we're doing or talking about cars. So let's get into it. Let's talk about some samples. This will just be a short video, and then we'll get back into another video on doing some wood on that one and some more candy blues and some silver effects on this one with some black and purple maybe. I've got a lot of color combos to do, but in this video, let's go over some samples and a little bit more on some Createx colors. All right, guys? All right, let's get into it. Let's go. All right, guys, first let's talk about a couple quick things that we showed you guys before with squirt bottles, with liquid latex, with some of the dry brushing. We haven't done a ton of it yet, but I'll show you some samples in my office. And then, like I said, this is just a short video. I want to show you guys what else you can do. This doesn't always apply to cars or motorcycles or walls. It could be prop guns, it could be skateboards, it could be helmets, whatever you guys want. All right, let's get into it, okay? All right, gang, so one of the first things I want to talk about is, because on some of the first videos we showed you guys was using the squirt bottle trick using Createx colors reduced with water. So you guys saw it on the yellow door video, you saw it on the green with the candies. I wanted to show you something. I've showed some of these before, but I haven't really explained them. Now this is just a regular motorcycle helmet with an old Indian motorcycles logo on it. Can you see this runoff right here? This was squirt bottled. And so when we were talking about doing the tape tears last week, that's all that was. Those were tape lines that we just kind of made look old. And then we were able to put little chips and scratches in it, fade it, and then use Posca pen to outline it. And then you could have a satin clear on it. But do you see what I'm saying? These are those little tears and stuff. If you're looking to make like an old motorcycle, or it doesn't even have to be, it could be a football helmet, who knows? I've done hockey helmets, all kinds of stuff. And once again, doesn't always have to be weathered effects. But I want to show you what we did with the squirt bottles. Look at this, okay? So this is same effects. Painted the helmet tan, used the burnt sienna, squirt bottled over it, and then came back with the Posca pens. And we're going to talk about the Posca pens a little more because we have more people asking, how do we use these and can this work over, you know, acrylic or a water base? Yes, it can, because I'm using the Posca acrylic pen. They make metallics, they make all these other ones. But when you do an acrylic over an acrylic, you're not going to have any reactions. Okay, so I'll grab some more samples, but that's one of them from the squirt bottle trick. And then I'm going to show you some canvas as well. So here's one option you guys can do with just a squirt bottle, an airbrush, and some Posca pens. So pretty cool, right? All right, so let's get into when we were talking about the liquid latex. What's cool about it? Some people are like, oh, I hate it. Some people are like, wow, this is great. This works awesome. We'll show you some stuff on a helmet right now that has those same effects, okay? All right, so let's go over a sample real quick. This is an electronic Boba Fett helmet. It's a Disney product. I didn't paint this. This is how it comes. It's a little dirty. I'm actually doing a motorcycle that's gonna look like this, but I'm gonna show you, you see the different layers in there, right? So they didn't, this doesn't look, I don't know. It doesn't look super legit. But once again, this is just a toy, but you see some of the weathered effects. Everybody knows who Boba Fett is from Star Wars. But let's take a look at what I did with my motorcycle nitrous bottle, okay? So this is that same effect. What we did is we painted it with the silver shine, okay? Just like the Boba Fett helmet here, except mine looks way cooler than theirs. This is all Createx colors on this NOS bottle. You do your silver shine or an aluminum or some type of reflective metal. You take and put your liquid latex down. Do we have it? Let's have it right here, guys. Liquid latex that you can order on Amazon. You can buy it at Hobby Lobby. You can get it at Michael's. You can order this anywhere. There's lots of different things and stuff you can do. You don't have to use liquid latex. Made up kind of a similar OD green, mixed the color, and then kind of a maroon. And then sprayed these colors over the top of the shine, the silver shine. and then took basically, and then let it cure and then rubbed it back off. So we're getting similar effects. I'm gonna do a whole entire motorcycle like this. The whole bike that's behind you is gonna look like this. But this is one of those steps, okay, that you guys have learned now with the liquid latex. So I wanted to show you another sample of what it could look like. You could do a whole car like this. Paint your whole car silver, do the liquid latex, and see, we didn't do any rust effects on it. You don't need to. It's like this is, say this is aluminum under here or titanium or something. It's not gonna rust anyways, right? So we want it to just look like it's been battle damaged, chipped, worn out, whatever. So there's another great example for you guys. Once again, Createx colors. While we're here, I'm gonna say there's all kinds of different squirt bottles. You guys can get tiny little squirt bottles and do this on die-cast cars. You can do it on dioramas. You can do it on miniatures, whatever you're building. This is another type of squirt bottle that I like because it holds pressure and it's very soft. See that? So if you're going for micro effects and it's pressurized, this is even better. These are like 10 bucks. You can get them at Target. You can probably get them at any, I think I stole this from my ex-girlfriend actually. Or somebody got this, I don't know. I don't know where he got it. But I know I've seen them in stores. So pressurized, see that? So if you're doing something you want just a little bit, not a lot, not like a big heavy squirt bottle, get yourself one of these. They work great. All right, let's move on to something else real quick. Let's get over to Posca pens just for a second and I'll show you a couple other things, all right? Okay, I found the license plate that I'm actually supposed to send this to a friend of mine overseas. Let's shout him out, Old Cool Customs. I don't know if you guys remembered SEMA a couple years ago. I was live painting Hoonigan license plates for everybody at the burn yard. And one of the things Carl and I came up with was, why don't I take aerosol cans and we'll use some different aerosol, you know, acrylic paint, because we couldn't set up an airbrush out there. And it was just gonna take too long to change colors. So I ended up getting a ton of like aerosol cans, like Montana graffiti cans. So this is Posca pen over like a lime green. So I kind of need something to hold this. So getting in here with like say the purple, okay? Purple, I purple outlined it, Old Cool Customs, that's the name of his company, his hot rod shop. And then took the Hoonigan license plate is actually, that's, you know, you see it right there? And then went right over the top of that. And then I was just taking an aerosol clear coat, satin clear coat, and just hitting them real quick. Aerosol satin clear coats aren't that strong. They can scratch real easy, but these are wall hangers. You know what I mean? You hang them up on your wall in your shop. So anyways, I should probably send this to him. You know, he's gonna kill me. But anyways, let's get back into what you can do with Posca pens. Like I said, these are acrylic, okay? So some of you guys have been asking like, hey, can I clear coat these? Yes, you can, but don't take and draw on a gloss finish. Like if you're, for example, this is a satin finish because this is Createx's black sealer, because I'm getting ready to, we're gonna do some wood effects on that one, some door logos. So this is their acrylic sealer, right? Now I can draw right over the top of this anything we want. You can draw a whole scene on here. You can hand paint the colors, whatever, aerosol can, as long as you're sticking to the same medium. Meaning, if I put this over gloss, it kind of separates. So maybe I'll find something that's shiny and show you guys. Maybe we'll use Edgar's bottle right here because it's already been clear coated. But as you can see, here's different sizes. You know what I mean? You can order these on Amazon. You can usually get them at your local art store. They make metallic, and they make all kinds of ones, but I stick to the acrylic stuff because I'm using an acrylic paint. And I'm sorry I keep repeating myself. That's why it helps you guys out to remember, like, oh man, I can draw a whole door logo with this if I want to. Yeah, or you can hand paint part of it with a brush and then scribble in the rest of it like this, shadow it, go back with the bigger, you know, whites, highlight. Then you can sand it back down if you want to, or you can clear coat with a 2K clear right over the top of this. I'll show you a sample of another nitrous bottle I did for a friend of mine. Which I feel bad, some of these products are still sitting here and they need to get back to the owners. But let's go over Edgar's bottle real quick. We'll show you up close, and then you guys can see that that's been clear coated with a 2K show car clear. Okay, so this is a nitrous bottle that our buddy Edgar uses to charge up his the gas shocks and stuff on all of his amazing motorcycles he builds. Crazy Banshees and 2-strokes and all this cool stuff. Edgar's an awesome dude. Hi, by the way, buddy. So this is Createx colors, the whole thing. This is a purple metallic from their pearl, or it's a pearl, but it's from their Auto Air Pearl line, okay? Then there is an orange opaque. So that's from their opaque line, heavy opaque. Has another shadow of some orange and some black on it. And then using like their lime green with some of the, this is more of their opaques, okay? And then you guys see the outlines around here? Going around, even on the monster here, around the Banshee alley. That's what I've got written on it. Sorry, this thing's heavy. We'll go all the way around it, and there's a little smoke with the airbrush. But this, don't drop it. Have an explosion. Let's grab, let's see, a purple, what else? And a white. Do you have a white? Yeah, grab a white. Okay, so I've got two of their, these aren't their finest size. They have some that's smaller than this. But this has been outlined, okay, with two of their Posca pen colors. And then this has been clear coated with a nice 2K clear, okay? You see how it didn't crack. It's not gonna fade because this is a UV clear. So I know this is gonna be indoors at Edgar's shop, but what it is it's this is a sample. So when you guys are like starting to see what I'm doing with the doors, and you're questioning like, hey man, can I clear coat this, or is it gonna, you know, turn out like crap? No. As long as you don't go over a gloss. So let me zoom in and I'll show you what happens if you go over a gloss. And Edgar, I'll wipe it right back off. Okay. All right, so Edgar, we promise we won't mess up your bottle. So let's take like one of their fluorescent greens, okay? The other thing too is you can, if it's on a gloss finish, it's gonna, you can wipe it right back off very easy. So just playing around on here, it's gonna separate a little bit, and it's kind of translucent, it's see-through. So one of the things is, if this was not clear coated, that would stick and it would be a lot more opaque. But because it's on gloss, look at that, wipe right back off. So we don't want that, okay? Unless you're gonna hurry and lightly dust seal it, you don't wanna do that. So being able to take, like, let's say my brother's sign over here, or license plate over here, it's kind of been getting a little scratched up because it's been sitting. But this is on acrylic. It's gonna stick right to it because we're just darkening in some of these spots that the green is coming through. It's gonna stick to it, and it's gonna look very solid and opaque and not translucent because we're not going over a clear coat. We're going directly over the top of another acrylic paint. So see how well that works. So if you're doing your paint job on you're doing your door logos on your vehicle, and you're using either Createx or another acrylic paint on top of that, or I mean below that, and you're going over the top of it with these Posca pens, this is great. I mean, this is good stuff. I love this stuff. Like it to me speeds up stuff so much faster, but it also depends on the look you're going for. You know, maybe you want an actual pinstripe, real brush look, then, you know, I wouldn't use these. But if you're like me, you like a lot of cool, wild, rustic stuff. See, now we could clear coat this right now with either a high gloss clear, a satin, or a matte, and it's gonna be just fine. So let's go, and as a matter of fact, this is Posca pin over the top of silver metallic, and you can see through there. This is all Createx colors. That's Createx Candy 2.0. I brought some of that too so you can see. So they have a candy line as well. So that's over silver flake. That's their green. This is what this is a black, which I'm looking forward to doing a purple and a black candy mix over silver flake. I think that's gonna look insane. Can't wait to do my 67 Ford. We're gonna do something weird with it. I want that thing to stand out. So, okay, let's get on to something else right quick. Okay, let's talk about another sample. This helmet, if people are asking about durability, this is my old race helmet when I used to have suicidal lifestyles. It's my old race number, 96, before Axel Hodges stole it. Just kidding, Axel. This helmet is 20 years old. These are skull stencils. Do I have those stencils right here? I think I do. Hold on, oh, I see it right there. This is an older stencil from way back. But you see this quick little skull stencil right here? That's what these are. Look at that. See that? There's another one right there. There's his eyes, there's his mouth, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, talk about durability. This helmet, I used to race with this helmet. We lost the front of it, so I kept it. But this is 20 years old. It's got some chips and scratches in it. Look, there's the old metallic saran wrap trick from way back. So I'm saying it's so funny that the saran wrap look is coming back. You know, that's from the early 90s. We did it on mini trucks. This helmet was painted like, I honestly think this was painted in 2000. Wow, 25 years. So, and just some light shadowing, and then back then I didn't have Posca pins, so I, took Createx colors, like there's my name, Deeter, and outlined it with their paint, just with a brush. So, anyways, there, you want to see durability, there you go. This helmet's been around forever. But another great example of this is acrylic. Water base, a lot of people are like, oh, you don't trust the water base. It's like, well, until you try it out. Another one on the Posca pins, here's their metallics. The metallics look sick. I love these, but I haven't tried to clear coat over these yet. So I will try that. We'll see. We're gonna try a candy paint job, maybe do a chrome looking logo, and then we're gonna try to clear coat it with a show clear and see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. We already know the acrylic can withstand a great heavy or a good clear coat. So now I'm excited to try out their metallics. Okay, let's talk about something else. What else can you paint it on? Here's another example on leather, okay? This is my old punk rock jacket here. This jacket is old as dirt, just like me. It was like it was slightly airbrushed. You know, we put white on it. I put some yellows, oranges, and then hand painted the leopard with like black. It's got spikes all over it. This thing is beat down. I've had this since high school. You know, you gotta have your studs in there in case you get jabbed, you know, at one of the concerts. Anyways, I've painted this jacket multiple times. There used to be big logos on the back, and one of these days when I get time, you can kind of still see it. I used to have like Deeter on the back, this big old skull. And then when I had my crazy haunted Cadillac limo that I had creepy on the license plates, I had creep on the back here and everything. But I couldn't get the paint off. I think I even sent a message to Createx one time and I was like, hey man, I can't get this paint to rub off this leather. And they're like, you know what, just paint over it. So I did. I just repainted the whole jacket black and then went back and started doing different stuff on it. So now this thing, you just saw that helmet that's 25 years old. This thing is probably about 35 years old, okay? This thing is old as old. So there you go. Now you're seeing it on different surfaces. Once you put heat to it, it's pretty much permanent. You can do leather, you can paint. There's so much stuff you can do with this paint. And by the way, I'm not being paid to say any of this. I'm just telling you what I've used for so many years. I do still use solvents here and there. Just depends on what we're doing. I just did an ATC gas tank for a friend of ours that's a Honda original white, and we went with full, to color match it, we went with full solvents on that, and it looked beautiful. So it's all on what you do. I like weird stuff, you know. I like the things that are a little bit different. There's some stuff, like if you're looking for a really cool engine or a silver leaf and things like that, you can still do silver leaf over the top of this. You can still do gold leaf. You can still, oh my gosh, it is really endless what you can do with this stuff, guys. So, all right, let's get on to another sample. Okay, leather, get out of the way. Here's another quick example. Some of this stuff I'm showing you, I used to do on Instagram just to make content for Instagram to show for advertising. So a lot of times I didn't spend more than a few minutes on some of these items. So like for example, we took a wooden skateboard and made it look like wood. So I'm gonna do a whole door like that. But it was, you know, you put down your black and then you take dry brush and you do a lighter color and then you come back with your burnt sienna, burnt sepia, and then you use some of the little micro stencils for the screws, and then you come back with a little bit of black, then you do your logo, and then you come back with, like, say that's a gold metallic pen, and then clear coat it in a satin, okay? This is gonna be, like, we're gonna do a whole door like this. I think it's gonna be fun. One of the biggest things that I had a blast doing was when I used to live paint at SEMA for Champion Compressor. I've done 2 or 3 of them where they look like whiskey barrels, and we've done some that look like racing, and those particular videos are the most popular. And then on the golds, I used some of the metallic gold from Createx. Some of the older ones I used one shot on, and we took brushes and dry brushed that stuff. But let's get into, and yeah, by the way, that's brushing, okay? There's lots of ways to do the faux wood effects. That was huge in the 60s, 50s, 60s. It's still huge on walls, whatever, fake beams, things made out of styrofoam that you're making look like wood for movie props or whatever. But I love doing this kind of stuff on cars because it throws people off. They're just like, what the, why? Why? They're like, why not? You have fake wood in your bathroom floor. So let's make wood look like fake wood. Anyways, all right, let's move this sample so I can show you some stencils, okay? Because I've been getting questions on stencil stuff, so we'll show you some of that right quick, okay? All right, so like I was saying in a couple of videos, a lot of airbrushing and a lot of the tricks that you guys see either on my videos or other people's videos out there on YouTube that are airbrushing is we're using stencils. You know, you can hand paint. Nothing against hand painting. The reason why I got into a lot of stencil work was because when we were painting cars on a television show, you have a time limit. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny, we would go to SEMA every year and people would be like, people would have a whole year to build a car and then try and come over and knock ours because like, oh, we didn't knock one dent out of the car. Well, we just built that car from the frame up, and including we built the frame too, in 14 days. Painted, full crazy horsepower, airbags, articulating suspension, because we had an amazing team. We didn't have a year to build a car. So the people that used to talk trash on us, hey man, that's why we won a lot of times, is because we did it in such a short amount of time. If we had a year to build a car, bro, that thing would fly. It'd be a spaceship. Anyways, here's some samples. Some of you guys were asking, hey, what if we don't have a plotter? Well, you guys can go to Hobby Lobby. You can order these online. You could lay out your own door logos. You know what I'm saying? And maybe, I know we were talking about, maybe I'll do this, because if you don't have a plotter or you don't have the computer program to design the logo that you want, it is getting a lot easier, by the way, guys. Now you can take an image You can have somebody draw it up. You can have AI create the image for you. You can vectorize it. You can make an EPS file out of it and cut it on your plotter. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way, and we'll talk about that with that tape right here that we keep going over. Okay, so say, let's take our big roll of mask, and you can peel this off and put it back on. So we'd say we'd do our whole door, right? We'll wipe lay this out on the whole door. Try to get all the wrinkles out of it, try to get it as smooth as you can. And then what you can do is you can come in and lay out your lettering. Like I'm gonna write, you know, Bad Bones Racing or something. We're gonna do a skull in there. Then you can come back with a razor blade, X-Acto knife, preferably, and cut each one of those letters out. Now if you take and cut each one of those letters out, okay, and you set them aside, you can reuse them to mask. So say now that you've went ahead and laid out your whole entire logo, and like I said, there's all different sizes. You laid out your logo. You can take all the masking off, okay? Take those little letters that you already had set aside, because they're reusable, put them back on what you just painted and cover it. Now you can shadow on the outside of it. Now you can run streaks in it because you're covering up, you reused your masking. So, which brings us to another great item, Frisket film. A lot of airbrush artists love this stuff. This is the same stuff, but this is see-through. This isn't really see-through, obviously. This is a clear mask. I don't want to open it up yet because sometimes it gets dust in it and it's no good. But this is a roll of clear, even though it looks kind of like you can't really see through it. Once you pull the backing off of it, you can see through this. So you can do the same thing. You can lay out your, say you wanted to hand draw a skull on there, make your own stencil, cut it out, cut the eyes out, set all that aside. I usually have another piece of paper somewhere or another, a clean area where I'll take off the mask, the ones I cut out, because now I have a negative. And I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to use that later. On the TV show, a lot of times I didn't get to do that because, like I said, we're in a hurry. Got to go fast, man. Let's go. So Frisket film. This is a matte finish. This is from Art Tool Products. You can order this online. By the way, I've put down in one of the descriptions, Coast Airbrush. I've got their website on there, and I'll put it in the description of this one. If you guys go to Coast Airbrush, you can buy Createx paint right there. A lot of times when you hear me saying createxcolors.com, that's for you can go look at the colors, you can read the MSDS sheets, you can see if that's gonna work for you. But if you need to buy it, and like Hobby Lobby carries small amounts of it, I get lucky, our local shops carry it here. Someday, what I want to do is, since I seem to do a lot of the car stuff, is I want to stock, because locally they don't stock it here and it just, I hate it. I want to stock gallons and big 32 ounces of everything, of all their colors, because I plan on continuing to do a lot of car stuff. And then their 4011, which is their main reducer that I use the most of. So for me, I would love to have their whole paint line in Las Vegas where we could ship out. But like I said, go to Coast Airbrush for now. If you guys are looking for stuff, you can get your 4011 reducers, you can get your opaques, your candies, your metallics, all from there. You don't have to buy them in this big bulky stuff, but I love it in this because it lasts a while. Okay, let's talk some more stencils. Okay, so let's talk stencils again. So you see how we were talking about when we were talking about the skateboard, right? That would be using the dry brushes, meaning we're gonna put paint on it, we're gonna wipe half of the paint back off that brush. So it's just leaving streaks because it's barely touching the ends of the tips of the paint. Dink. So there's guys out there, let me put this down. There's other airbrush artists out there, which by the way, guys, sorry I'm off the camera. Createx does have a channel that you can also watch. Chris Arpin and some of the guys testing out some of the products in their paint booth at their facility. And like Craig Fraser, for example, he goes down there. He's an amazing artist that's been around for years. He's got books on stuff. He was in the mini trucking scene. There's Gerald Menendez. There's Scott Mackay. And speaking of Scott Mackay, which he does a lot of live videos. So I'm gonna link his channel down below too. Scott Mackay. This is basically pocket graphics, okay? Pocket, put that in your pocket, okay? I just was telling him the other day I was gonna shout him out on this. So this is their pocket graphics kit. And what this is this is amazing. Look at this, guys. Tiny, tiny little stencils, tiny. Look at this. Do you see? These are nuts and bolts, bullet holes, screws. See the little crosses in there? You can use that as a screw. There's filigree panels in here. Let me hold this up better. There's filigree panels. There's the miniature tiny flame ones. Look at that. This is cool. This looks great with gold leaf too. And put these down. Little tears. Look at this, metal tears. Rivets. This is great if you're doing really small projects. You guys saw the bigger rivet stencil I was using the other day. But look at this one. This one's got little tiny ones. And what's cool about it, the half circle here is for the shadowing. It's perfect. These are perfect. Okay. And like, look at that. At the end, there's like a little bit of, like a rust blowout. Like that. You put that in the corner and blow a little thing out of there. There's some metal tears or shattered glass. You can make concrete effects. So like, great example. These, like when I did those air compressors and I did the skateboard, where are you? There's little tiny screws, little screw. Those are those stencils. You use the round one and then you come back and use the little cross one. It looks like a Phillips screw. So see, you can start to achieve a lot of these effects on your own at home. And Scott does a lot of live videos. So shout out to you, Mr. Mackay. We appreciate all your amazing videos. You know me, guys, I'm gonna do more of the bigger stuff, car type of stuff, but I would go check out his channel, follow him. He's got a bunch of great tips and tricks on how to, if you're getting into airbrushing, how to learn it. Like I said, there's so many other channels you can check out too, Airbrush Asylum. There's a bunch out there that have got really cool tricks. Me, I do weird stuff, you know, but examples for, like, we did the wooden skateboard, right? Well, look, they have wood stencils. I'm not a big fan of these sometimes because they're repeated, you know what I mean? You have to repeat them, turn them, do some, flip them, do whatever. But that's a really cool effect if you're trying to do something, you know, and you don't have to actually use an airbrush for this. You could use a mini gun or even the big gun, just turn the volume down. I should just grab the camera. It's kind of endless. Let me grab the camera. That way I don't have to keep picking you up. Okay, so here's some more samples. You know, we've got don't forget, Scott Mackay right there. Pocket Graphics, our tool. I think Craig Fraser did these. These are like steampunk style. Look, you can do American flags. Look at this one. I love this one. I use this one a lot. Oh, let me grab it. Stuck to. Look at all the little different cool effects you got on here. Bubbles, splats, tears. If you're doing like a 90s, look at the little dots, bullet holes, you know what I mean? So you can do a lot of effects with these. There's so many different styles. They've got, let's go back over here and grab some more, move them out of the way. Skulls, pinup girls. You can do pinup girls if you're doing like an old bomber trick. Skulls, what else? It's endless. I guess I should just say there's so many. You can also use stick-it stencils. Let me grab some of these out real quick. These are great because these are reusable like fish scales. See, we can lay these out on, say, a helmet or whatever we're doing, and you can peel them off and you can reuse them. And you're gonna shadow all your fish scales on your helmet or your Harley or whatever you're doing. So there's some more examples of stencils and, you know, different cool effects you can use. And then now I'm gonna walk you into the office and we'll show you a couple other things real quick, okay? Okay, let's walk into Mr. Deeter's office area. Here is another example of Posca pen. When you guys were asking, this is on canvas. It says, go create something amazing. Every day when I walk out, I try. It may not be the best, but I try. Not to be the best, just to try to do something. But anyways, that's all Posca pen, the whole thing. So there's a quick idea. Like that one right there, I think was one shot. It's got bad wording, I can't show that. So let me grab, let's see, sorry. Let's go in my bathroom. It's obviously a man bathroom, right? So let's take a look at what I say when I'm talking about dry brushing. This is a little sink that I did. We painted it with the black sealer, and then we took their like blood hot rod red, kind of like the bathroom, which by the way, guys, I've painted walls with this stuff a lot. This is when you take the brush, you get a little bit of paint on it, and then you're just making brush strokes, okay? So that's you know, a different effect that we're gonna do on a door. All right, so let's get up. Oh, my knees are broken. Here's another example. Posca pen over dry brushed Createx, okay? Here's another example. This one is actually been squirt bottled. Got like a weird reflection right now, I'm sorry. Then I airbrushed, I just kind of drew something on there, airbrushed it, and then went around it with Posca pen. Even the outline is Posca pen. So you see what I'm saying? You can get some, sorry about the reflections. You can get some really cool effects with just a few simple tools, but now you guys are starting to see what you can do with these tricks I'm showing you. I always say these videos are going to be shorter, but they don't seem to be. More samples of different types of weathering effects. If you guys ever saw the explosives truck I did, it was red. Shannon actually painted it red for us from Pink Diesel using Createx. And then we went around the whole entire truck, or I should say I did, with a smoke black and a wicked black, and we made it look burnt. And it took hours of just shaping and fading. But that truck is just, that's a beautiful truck. Anyways, a couple other things. That's Posca pen on the little, this is my little brush holder. I don't pinstripe that much anymore, but I've got all the brushes and stuff right here. I usually get a lot of my stuff from SoCal Speed Shop. I used to work there years ago. And here's another quick thing. I follow a couple of the guys that are on YouTube, Instagram. One of the guys, he's got like a sprayable sizing glue from Limeline. They make tapes as well. They make the little deals that you can put your 1000 or 800 grit on. So once you put your silver leaf on there, let me see if I can grab silver leaf out of here. Time Warp, gosh, I couldn't remember his name. Time Warp, he's on YouTube as well, but he's kind of figured out some really good silver and gold leaf. I'm gonna drop that and that's gonna go everywhere. Stop it. So just more samples of stuff you guys can play with and learn. I'm really excited to hear some of you guys are gonna try airbrushing and get into some of this coolness. It's cool, man. But one thing's gonna happen is once your friends figure out that you can airbrush, they're gonna be like, hey man, do my door logos? And you're like, yeah, 250 bucks a side, brother, or whatever. But what else? I think that's it. I probably talked enough. Like I said, there's some great airbrush artists on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook. You can go check them out as well. Some of them are Createx artists. You can follow them on their Instagrams, their YouTube channels. Go check out Scott Mackay. Like I said, I'll link his channel down below or put it in the description. then you can order a lot of the stencil kits from him. I'm looking at making some of my own stencil kits finally. It's like, here's my little work area. Do a lot of the computer drawing and graphic drawing right there, which, by the way, I will be restarting my brand. This was my brand right here. Von Deeter. It's been around for years, but I'm bringing it back. So I do lots of digital stickers and shirts and stuff like that. So I'll be posting these back on the website soon. I'm so busy building cars, it just, oh my gosh, it just takes a lot away from me. So I'd rather get back to art. Hicks. There's the old Cadillac we were just talking about, which is right there, creepy. You know, here's another example of a lot of Createx colors on this motorcycle I built years ago. This whole bike is made out of car parts, if you guys can see. Cadillac, there's a Harley fender on it, there's an Indian seat, 34 Chevy gas tank, 36 Chevy headlight, mirrors off of a Diamond T, running boards off of 41 Willys Jeep that was in the war. Don't drink, so I got an O'Doul's shifter because this was a Honda Matic, so it didn't have a clutch. That's why you guys, there's no clutch right there because it's an automatic. So yeah, and then, you know, parts of like 455 Oldsmobile timing gears. I think that was, gosh, 38 Chevy or Ford Hood split. Yeah, just, you know, whatever, just crazy stuff. But a lot of these color combos you're seeing on here this isn't real rust. None of this was rusty. There's copper and real rivets on here as well. Like, everything is pretty much legit. These are all real rivets. But I did use Createx colors to achieve this look, you know. Speaking of that, that was one of our old classes we took with Createx Airbrush Getaway years ago. But back to, let's see. You know, I showed you the gas tank. Mark still needs to come get it. I'm actually doing Createx colors on this clock for somebody that won one of the contests for Fast Cut CNC. So we're getting ready to do that. Dioramas, you know, shout out to Max Grundy, another amazing artist right there. So endless opportunities and endless amounts of artwork you can do. This is all Createx colors and Posca pen. I just shadowed some colors and then took the black and then went around that clock right there. So yeah, it's cool stuff, guys. Okay, gang, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. It really helps the channel, helps me to be able to do these videos for you guys. I hope you learned something on what you've been being taught so far and how you can apply it to different products, different substrates, different stuff. So there's a lot more cool videos coming. Don't forget to check out Scott Mackay and his channel. Don't forget to check out a lot of the great Createx and other artists out there on Instagram and YouTube. So let's support each other. Go out there and be creative, because you can do this. You guys, I got faith in every one of you. You guys know you can email me if you've got questions or whatever. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys' cars at SEMA. Sending me messages. It's so cool. I'm proud of you guys. You guys are kicking butt, man. All right, everybody have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.